Have you ever had a dream? Not the kind you have at night while sleeping, but a deep wish or desire that would bring you true happiness? One that's not materialistic really at all, not based on being rich or being able to show off to others, but something that came from the heart? Such is the case in Disney's Pinocchio, which tells the story of a woodworker and toy maker named Geppetto. He's old and lives with his pet goldfish and cat when he creates a puppet of a young boy. Geppetto is lonely and does not have a family, so his secret wish is to have Pinocchio become real. Jiminy Cricket arrives at Geppetto's workshop because he needs a warm place to stay, and luckily for him, Geppetto is a kind man with a welcoming, albeit humble, home and shop. As an outsider, Jiminy notices Geppetto's hard work and loneliness. Geppetto's a man who works by himself, and his only friends are his pet goldfish and cat, who don't talk. It's pretty obvious he could use a human companion in his life. One could argue that Jiminy's personal reason or exigence to sing his song to Geppetto is his desire to help someone who helped him. He also sees that Geppetto is a good person and has empathy for his situation, considering Jiminy is also a lone traveler who also doesn't have a lot of money. But he also understands what loneliness can do to a person, or in this case, a cricket. Here's our song, When You Wish Upon a Star, which is Jiminy's argument indirectly to Geppetto. One main idea of Jiminy's argument is the idea that your financial situation and status don't matter to fate when it comes to making things happen. This is key because Geppetto is poor, humble, and alone. He hasn't done anything miraculous to change the world, but he does contribute to society through his honest work. We see this in the first verse, which says, When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. This simple idea is constructed through cause and effect. When you do X, then Y will happen. However, Jiminy is not finished with his argument because there are some conditions to dreams coming true. In the next section of the song, Jiminy states, If your heart is in your dream, no request is too extreme, which stipulates that your heart has to be in your dream. This implies that everyday materialistic or simply dreams that serve your ego are not the type that will come true. Having your heart in the dream means not just loving and desiring on a profound level, but also being willing to stake your life on this thing you want. He goes on to then repeat the song's title and chorus, When You Wish Upon a Star, which again is part of the purpose and cause effect structure running throughout the lyrics. However, he also adds, as dreamers do, which adds a kind of wistful tone by comparing what he wants Geppetto to do with what all people with dreams do, that is, to wish. The difference? The role the star plays in this wishing. Next, a chorus of angelic voices breaks into the song to explain what fate is, this type of definition. It even goes as far as to personify this idea. Fate is she, the female. She is kind. This also plays into a later scene where we see her personified as a blue fairy. She is the one that makes the wish come true. However, this also adds another stipulation to the previous. The person who gets their wish must be ones who love, and their wish must be a secret longing. In other words, the person must be kind, loving, and not someone who has bragged or whined about their wish. The juxtaposition of secret and longing intensify the humbleness of the wish and the serious, lasting desire for it. If Geppetto did not already have trust in fate, Jiminy's simile between fate following through like a bolt out of the blue solidifies this dependability. This comparison serves a few purposes. One, a lightning bolt comes from the heavens, creating a mystical comparison. Think of Zeus's lightning bolt. When the gods or mystical powers promise something, they follow through, good or bad. Second, the bolt is out of the blue, which is an idiom for something that is unexpected or a surprise. This acknowledgement that Geppetto would be surprised helps helps Jiminy come across as a realist, someone who understands that these kinds of events are miraculous and not every day. Besides the simile and idiom at play, the argument also includes clever sound devices and color symbolism. Bolt and blue, they are alliterative. They have the B sound, which emphasizes the figurative language, while the use of blue foreshadows the personification of fate as the blue fairy. Lastly, Jiminy closes his argument by reiterating his call to action. Repeating the last line twice, but with a slight difference, reinforces the main argument that if one wishes on a star, the dream is not just likely to come true, it will come true. So overall, Jiminy argues to a man who doesn't seem to have much fortune come his way in life. He posits that if this person has a good heart, and if you're a person who has a desire that comes from a good place, fate will make it come true, which supports his purpose of encouraging Geppetto to make the wish, but also to pay him back for his kindness to the cricket. The good news is Jiminy's advice is taken by Geppetto, even if Geppetto never acknowledges the advice. It is Jiminy's sincere tone, while also appealing to Geppetto's logic and desires, which causes him to wish on a star, to have Pinocchio turn into a real boy. Now we know there's more to the story. There's a lot of trials and tribulations which make up the entire movie, but in the end, they do find each other. And perhaps we can learn that if we too take a chance on our dreams and have a full heart and be good people who are humble and kind, that our dreams can also come true.